Hi everybody, it's just lovely to be with you again. Thanks for joining me. We're talking about 2 Timothy chapter 2, and we're talking about 3 different pictures that the Apostle Paul gives of what a Christian experience or Christian life is all about. He speaks about a soldier, and a soldier doesn't go to war with a double-minded thing. He knows who he's serving. He knows it's about sacrifice. He knows what it entails to be a good soldier. And we also, when looking at that soldier thing, realize that in an army, that no soldier is better than a bad one. And a bad one just brings corruption and is toxic to the environment. So when we are soldiers for Christ, make sure that we're good soldiers. Make sure that we bring with us a positive and a really good message to the people that are around us. For those of us who live in South Africa, let's make sure over the next week or so, as we go through the rather upheavaling times of elections, I trust that we will portray a Christ-like image, that our positivity and our love for people would be seen despite some of the circumstances that there are about us. Let's make sure we do a good job, church, because this is important, and this is where the world is at its best, but the world is at its worst, but the church should right now come to the fore and be at its very best. So we spoke about, Paul says that being a Christian is like an athlete. Once again, self-sacrifice is the key to what athleticism is all about. Nobody becomes an athlete from an armchair. It requires sacrifice, hard work, and good exercise. The last picture I find is an intriguing one. He says that a Christian is like a hard-working farmer who should reap the rewards of what he has sown. A hard-working farmer. And I want to ask you today, what does a farmer know about being farming that could be a good analogy for us as Christians? Well, I made a list some time back, and I think it's intriguing. A couple of things farmers know. First of all, farmers understand that next year will be better. If you have talk amongst farmers, they're the eternal optimists. I love hanging with them because they're always an element of great anticipation of what next year is going to be about. Next year the rains will come. Next year the fertilizer will be okay. Next year the bugs won't eat us. Next year there's going to be a great time and we're going to be able to reap a great harvest next year. And their sense of anticipation for a good next year is really refreshing. So in light of what I said just now, let's make sure that we portray the same kind of attitude. Even if next year is not better, it doesn't matter. God hasn't changed. God is still on his throne. No one's kicked him off, despite the fact that someone might be sitting on the throne of our country. That doesn't matter. As long as God's on his throne and Jesus is okay, all will be fine with us. So I suggest to you that in light of everything that's going on and the insecurity and the anxiety that's going on in the world, let's portray an attitude of next year is going to be better. Next year, we're going to see God's blessing in a whole new way. Next year is going to be a great year. Now, I don't know what kind of year you've had so far, but I do know this, that in the kingdom of God, next year is always better. The grass is greener on the other side in the Christian experience. The blessing is always on the other side of the line, and we've spoken about that a number of times. But people, this is an attitude that we as believers need to be portraying. Not just in public, not just for the sake of public opinion and maybe trying to be a positive Polly out there, I don't know. But in our hearts, let's know that while Jesus is on the throne, and that things are going good in heaven, next year is surely going to be a better year. I don't know, maybe that would be a word that you could have with regard to a relationship you're having. You persist, you keep going, you keep watering that relationship, you keep putting fertilizer on that relationship, and let's just pray that next year will be getting better. There's no guarantees, we all know that, but that's not the problem. The problem is not the possibilities, because anything is possible, but I want to work on probabilities. And I think it is probable that if you will trust God, if you will water those relationships, add some fertilizer, prune those trees, that it is probable that you're going to have a good year next year. So we're right in the middle of the year right now. So next year is not a great analogy. We should be doing this maybe in December sometime. but just in the phases and the seasons of your life, whatever you're going through. For those that are elderly and the end of their life is soon to happen, I've got to tell you, for you particularly, baby, next year is really going to be better, because the kingdom of heaven awaits us. For those of us down here on earth, as we continue to serve, as we continue to do what Jesus has called us to do, let's do it with a sense of real anticipation, because I'm believing God on your behalf that you will reap the fruit of your labor, and that next year indeed, whatever that may look like or mean to you, I don't know what it is, but I'm praying that it'll be better. So let's go into that today. Carry that attitude with you, people. Do love you a lot, man. And I hope that this is a good day and a good week for you all. Bye-bye.